Okay, so you want to learn Kiriko, Overwatch 2's new hero. Put in 30 hours to figure out what the best techniques are. So if you guys enjoy the video, subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1K. And yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing you need to learn is Kiriko is a support class and shares the same passive as Genji and Hanzo, which means you can wall climb. For weapons, you have your kunais, which you can just throw the projectiles, so you have to aim pretty consistently, different than hit scan players. For weapons, you have your kunai, and that's basically it. For your healing, you have your healing Fudas and your Suzus, which you can use to heal. Yes, you can heal. And you also have your swift step, which is basically a get out of frailty. You also have your swift step, which is basically a get out of jail free card for all you local Monopoly players. So the first thing you want to learn is aim training with Kiriko. Since it's a projectile, you have to aim and predict where your opponents are going to move. Kiriko has really bad body damage. It only does 40, but it does 120 to the head, which will basically 2-tap a tracer, 2-tap literally everybody in the game. And yeah, that's all you need to know about that. I recommend using the aim trainer found in Overwatch custom mode settings as one of the best ways to practice your accuracy. I'd recommend trying to get it up to 60 and 80% as well. You can hit your shots more and your headshots up to around 40%, as that will guarantee more damage for your team and for yourself. Your healing is probably going to be one of your best strengths, as you will do more healing than most mercies at around 70 healing per second. The only issue is since your healing doesn't lock on, you're going to need to actually aim to try to hit your shots. Healing with Kiriko is one of the biggest things you can do because you can out heal Mercy at 70 heals per second. Healing is a soft lock, which means you basically have to semi-aim to get the most healing out of it. The best way that you can tell if you're targeting your teammates or not is if it's blue, you're not targeting them. If it's yellow, you are. Using supports as a mean to keep the other team back with DPS is one of the most effective things that you can do. It used to be you could just sit behind a wall and just heal your team. Can't do that anymore. But it's mandatory now in most situations for you to actually do DPS and support at the same exact time, as you'll become crowded in most places. And keeping pressure on the other team keeps your team alive longer and keeps the other team away. So you can push the robot if you're playing push, or get a capture, or keep them away from the capture point. Now your cooldowns are very long, which means that you should be using them more efficiently and more effectively to benefit your whole entire team, as well. Your Suzu is around 13 to 14 seconds and your teleport's only around 7 seconds. You want to make sure you know when you're going to teleport. Keep your mind active for anybody around you so you can teleport to them and get out of situations quickly if they go south quickly, which they probably will. If there's no one behind you, you can dodge and weave until someone gets close to you and you can teleport away. Or if you're like me, you pop a Zuzu, maybe get 1 kill and teleport out. Now synergy with Kiriko is something that you might want to use all the time, as it will maximize your DPS and your healing to its literal extreme. So mostly what you want to do is you want to keep your DPS and your healing the same. So what I recommend doing is throwing your Fudas at your teammates who are lower. Throw a couple kunais, 1 to 2. If you can, throw a melee in there and just keep doing that same cycle over and over again, and you'll maximize everything. You'll be putting so much pressure on the team, they will know what to do and they'll submit to you, and you can emote on them. Totally not, but you don't know. You could. Now, I feel like another thing we should bring up is 1v1s, because most Kiriko players think that you can 1v1 literally everything, because you can hit your headshots, you can hit your body shots, you can hit all the shots. Don't 1v1 unless you know that you're going to win. It's a big situation if you do not win, because you're down a support and your team might all die because of it. It is something that you should just keep aware that if you get into a 1v1 and you know you're not going to win, teleport out, use your swift step, get away. Now with Kiriko's ultimate, you also need to make sure that you're doing some of the following, as it will make your ult the best that it can. The first thing I would recommend is pairing it up with someone else's ult, like Reinhardt's ult, Zarya's ult, any ult that can do some major damage and can benefit from Kiriko's ult will literally win you the game 99% of the time, so keep that in mind. The second thing that you can keep in track is that if you cannot hit your kunais, go with healing. Healing is going to be your best option, as well you're going to be able to get more healing off to your teammates and they can do the damage. As you can use Kiriko's ult more like as Baptiste's window, where everybody else can do more damage, you can be the healer and win the game basically all the time. Now, one big thing I will let you know that if you cannot keep up your DPS and your healing on Kiriko and you still want to play support, I'd recommend going with like Mercy or Lucio, Baptiste, anybody that can get a higher output that you think, because Kiriko does have a very high skill ceiling and it's very hard to master over many times. As well, it took me 30 hours to get where I am right now, and I'm still not the greatest of all time with Kiriko, but I'm pretty confident with my Kiriko abilities. But yeah, you have to keep that in mind. You don't want to throw your games. You don't want to make your team mad at you. You don't want to be that one guy who's like, I don't want to change because I'm just learning. Too bad. You need that like practice, but don't practice in a situation that like is gonna make your team mad at you. Now, for everybody who isn't a Kiriko player and you want to know how to counter Kiriko, this is the section dedicated to you, because guess what? You're going to need it at some points, because Kiriko players can be pretty good at the game. And I mean really, really good. So, how to counter Kiriko's ult? It's pretty easy. Use Pharah, Hanzo. Pharah's ult will probably kill everybody. Using Hanzo's ult will probably kill everybody. Putting it down the line where the ult is will be the best that you can. With Pharah, just target people that are squishies and be able to kill them. Now, another thing that you can use to counter Kiriko pretty easily is just use a tank. Have your tank go after Kiriko. As well, Kiriko has a low shield break damage, and well, that basically wins you the game, because going after Kiriko is easy because you won't have an Ana and a Zen to be able to put extra pressure on that tank, keep that tank just non-existent. So that's your best way to just like counter that Kiriko. I'd recommend using Reinhardt or Winston, as they both have shields, and you can tank most of Kiriko's shots, if not all of them. And yeah, that's basically it. I know it wasn't 15 minutes like I said at the intro, but this should be enough information to get you through majority of your games as Kiriko, or if you're countering Kiriko, that's how you win without having a Kiriko on your team to counter the Kiriko. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said at the beginning, subscribe. Helps me out a ton. I want to reach 1K. And yeah, have fun. Peace.